Hollywood in its golden age, where stars with captivating beauty, radiant charisma, and iconic smiles became the ideal role models in the public eye. Those faces seemed unbelievably perfect. But behind that glamour lay little-known stories, subtle adjustments, discreet cosmetic interventions that contributed to the timeless looks we still admire. Over time and under the pressures of the industry, many stars not only changed naturally, but also sought methods to improve their appearance, from minor adjustments to more dramatic transformations. Hollywood at that time not only created films, but also helped shape the images of stars, sometimes in very direct ways. Today, we will look back at 21 remarkable stories surrounding the physical transformations that shaped screen icons. And by the time we reach the final story, you might see Hollywood from a different perspective. Let's explore the secrets behind classic beauty and the mysteries that have been kept hidden for years. Kirk Douglas, with his strong features and distinctive chin, became one of Hollywood's most iconic male faces. His famous dimples, an unmistakable on-screen signature, are often considered entirely natural. However, it is believed that in the early years of his career, he underwent a minor cosmetic procedure to further enhance his facial structure. Film studio executives at the time recognized Douglas's great potential, but wanted to add more masculinity to create a more striking image on screen. Adjusting his chin accentuated his already well-defined features, contributing to the distinctive look audiences remember him for in films like Spartacus and Champion. The procedure is believed to have taken place around 1946, when he transitioned from stage to film, using a technique that was relatively new at the time. Unlike many cases of major alterations, Douglas's adjustment primarily aimed to highlight his existing features rather than create a completely different appearance. The result was so natural that most viewers believed it was a birthmark. This detail played a significant role in building his distinctive masculine image. Interestingly, this feature also became part of his family image, as his son, Michael Douglas, also shared a similar look. When asked about his famous chin, Kirk Douglas simply replied that he always had it, a clever and accurate way of avoiding the specific changes that contributed to his distinctive appearance. Betty Grable, with her famous million-dollar legs, became the most beloved pin-up icon for American soldiers during World War II. Those legs were not only a striking feature, but also an invaluable asset to film studios, meticulously cared for to ensure they always appeared perfect in every photograph. However, behind that ideal appearance lay a meticulous maintenance process that few people know about. In the early 1940s, when Grable became a beauty icon in America, 20th Century Fox invested significantly in maintaining her physique. These methods included early skin tightening and body shaping techniques, helping her legs maintain their balance in front of the camera. According to some records, she regularly worked with body shapers, applying special massage therapies and other supportive methods to improve her figure. This meticulous care was kept secret, as Grable's legs were her defining feature. One of her most famous images, the 1943 swimsuit poster, became a widely beloved pin-up icon, with millions of copies distributed to military personnel. The studio's investment in this image paid off handsomely, though it sometimes put considerable pressure on Grable to maintain her appearance. Notably, her legs were insured for $1 million through Lloyd's of London, both as a promotional strategy and to highlight their exceptional importance. However, behind that flawless image lay a meticulous care process, reflecting the level of investment and stringent standards Hollywood placed on its stars during their peak. Before becoming a legend and establishing his image as an introspective anti-hero, Marlon Brando was a handsome young actor with a rather wide nose. Prior to his major breakthrough with A Streetcar Named Desire, he chose to undergo a minor rhinoplasty to perfect his on-screen appearance. This intervention was subtle, primarily involving narrowing and reshaping the bridge of his nose to better suit camera angles, while still preserving his distinctive features. Film studios at the time didn't want to completely alter Brando's appearance, but rather made just enough adjustments to highlight his strengths, such as his deep eyes and sharp features, contributing to his unique appeal. The surgery was performed around 1949 and was quite discreet. Unlike many cases arranged by film studios, this is believed to have been Brando's personal decision after he felt his face wasn't perfectly balanced on camera during auditions. According to the person who performed the procedure, he simply wanted his nose to be less noticeable rather than seeking a perfect appearance in the conventional sense. It's noteworthy that, even though Brando later became famous for opposing Hollywood's beauty standards, he still made some adjustments to his appearance early in his career. This small change shows that even great talents sometimes need to adapt to meet the demanding requirements of the film industry. Ava Gardner, with her mysterious yet captivating beauty, quickly became one of Hollywood's most prominent stars. However, behind that perfect appearance lay a transformation process that not all fans are aware of. Before becoming the alluring face of Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer, Gardner underwent numerous beauty treatments, including electrolysis to reshape her hairline and create a more defined facial structure. Her natural hairline was low and did not meet the studio's visual requirements. Through lengthy procedures, similar to those performed on Rita Hayworth, Gardner's hairline was raised and refined, accentuating her sharp features. This process began after she signed a contract with the studio in the early 1940s. After an audition, producer Louis B. Mayer found her almost perfect, but still needed adjustments to her forehead. From then on, treatments were carried out over several months. This was an unpleasant process, requiring great perseverance. Those who worked with her recounted that after each treatment, Gardner was often very tired, but she maintained an optimistic attitude and viewed it as part of her job. At that time, electrolysis was a fairly basic technique, performed by treating each hair follicle individually, without many of the discomfort-reducing aids available today. For Gardner and many actresses of her time, it was one way to meet Hollywood's image standards, where beauty was meticulously cultivated and played a crucial role in career building. Humphrey Bogart, with his distinctive husky voice and style, became an irreplaceable Hollywood icon. However, few know that his voice wasn't entirely natural, but the result of a speech correction procedure. Before making his mark in films like Casablanca and The Maltese Falcon, Bogart struggled with a mild lisp, which could have affected his acting career. To improve it, he underwent dental procedures to adjust his tooth structure and improve his pronunciation. Instead of completely eliminating the characteristic, the process inadvertently created a deep, slightly husky, and somewhat off-key voice, an element that later became his signature. The procedures were performed between 1935 and 1937, when he transitioned from supporting roles to leading roles at Warner Brothers. This process included dental work and the use of prosthetics to alter his pronunciation. According to some accounts, the studio's leader at the time, Jack L. Warner, saw this as a crucial step in developing Bogart's on-screen image. Remarkably, this adjustment, intended to overcome limitations, actually contributed to Bogart's distinctive style. After that process, his voice became different and suited the strong, experienced roles that audiences loved. Bogart's story shows that Hollywood not only seeks to improve weaknesses, but sometimes transforms them into unique traits, contributing to the iconic image of its stars. Sophia Loren, an Italian beauty icon, is renowned for her naturally harmonious and captivating features. However, in the early years of her career, she also made some subtle adjustments to enhance her already striking features. These changes were done very subtly, increasing her expressiveness in front of the camera while maintaining her characteristic authenticity. Slight adjustments around the eyes made them sharper and more prominent, while skillful shaping techniques clarified her high cheekbones. These interventions were performed in Rome in the early 1950s, before she rose to international stardom. According to many sources, Carlo Ponti, her producer and later husband, arranged this process after feeling that Loren's beauty wasn't fully captured on camera. One of the techniques mentioned was the slight adjustment of the inner corners of her eyes, creating a more balanced and suitable eye shape for the camera angle. It's noteworthy that these changes are almost imperceptible, as they don't alter her appearance, but rather help to highlight her natural features, making them more prominent and attractive on screen. Sophia Loren's case shows that the most effective adjustments aren't about completely changing her appearance, but about emphasizing what she already has. Unlike many stars who are influenced by studio demands, she viewed perfecting her appearance as a personal choice, ensuring that her natural beauty was always showcased most impressively in every scene. Dean Martin, with his captivating demeanor and characteristic elegance, became one of Hollywood's iconic faces. However, before achieving that refined image, he underwent a crucial nose surgery early in his career, which perfected his appearance and shaped his sophisticated style. Previously, Martin's nose was rather large and lacked refinement, making his appearance unsuitable for the romantic image that film studios aimed for. This surgery was part of his transformation from Dino Crocetti, the son of an Italian immigrant family, into Dean Martin, an entertainment icon with a luxurious appearance. The change not only improved his appearance, but also helped him reach a wider audience, avoiding unnecessary prejudices. The procedure was performed in 1948, during a period when he was working closely with Jerry Lewis. Paramount suggested this after realizing Martin's natural appearance didn't fit the romantic image they wanted to portray. The surgery was scheduled between projects to ensure adequate recovery time. Initially, Martin was quite hesitant, worried that the change might affect his personal identity and audience appeal. He even expressed concerns that he would look less Italian. However, he ultimately decided to go ahead with it, seeing it as a necessary step for his career. The results exceeded expectations. His new look made Martin more elegant and attractive, contributing to the image of a dashing, relaxed gentleman, a symbol of sophistication and style in the public eye. Greta Garbo, the Swedish actress with an enigmatic beauty, is one of Hollywood's greatest icons. However, behind that legendary image lies a subtle transformation, from her initially fuller face to a sharp and captivating screen presence. Upon arriving in Hollywood, studio executives recognized the potential in Garbo's expressive eyes, but felt her round face wasn't striking enough for the camera. Therefore, they employed various shaping techniques, from defining her cheekbones and jawline to strict weight management, sometimes combined with medical interventions, to create a more slender appearance. This transformation began in 1925, shortly after she signed a contract with MGM Louis B. Mayer. Dissatisfied with her initial appearance during auditions, demanded comprehensive improvements, including dental procedures and rudimentary facial sculpting techniques. Thanks to this, Garbo possessed high cheekbones and sharp features, hallmarks that became her trademark. One controversial factor was the use of weight loss aids. While not as sophisticated as today, this method, along with a strict diet, helped Garbo maintain a slender figure and angular facial structure, conforming to the beauty standards of the time. Garbo's transformation wasn't just about altering her appearance. it was a process of rebuilding her image. Her story shows that during its golden age, Hollywood not only created stars, but also shaped them into living legends on the silver screen. Cary Grant, an icon of timeless elegance, has captivated audiences for decades with his seemingly ageless appearance. However, behind that flawless image lies a little-known secret. He underwent cosmetic surgery in his middle age to maintain his youthful looks. In the late 1940s, when cosmetic surgery for men was rare, Grant quietly underwent a subtle facelift to slow the signs of aging. Everything was kept completely secret. He was hospitalized under a false name and avoided all attention. The results were understated, simply preserving the delicate, natural features that had made him so attractive. The surgery took place in 1952, as he was about to turn 50, a sensitive milestone for movie stars. Unlike modern methods, this procedure focuses primarily on the jaw and neck area, where signs of aging are most visible, while ensuring that the appearance is not drastically altered. Grant underwent the surgery through a private doctor at a clinic in Switzerland, registered under the name Alexander Archibald, a play on words from his birth name, Archibald Leach. During his 3-week disappearance, he explained to the public that he was on vacation in Europe. Remarkably, his absolute discretion and determination to keep the entire process secret are noteworthy. While female celebrities often have to publicly maintain their appearance, male stars like Grant face the opposite pressure, to maintain a natural image at all costs. This is what makes cosmetic interventions like his the most closely guarded secrets, even though they contribute significantly to maintaining their appeal on screen. Let's begin with an icon of natural beauty, or at least the image the public believed it to be. Audrey Hepburn, with her delicate features and charming smile, captivated audiences through classics like Roman Holiday and Breakfast at Tiffany's. However, few knew that this perfect smile wasn't entirely natural. Before becoming a global star, she underwent some minor dental adjustments to correct any inconsistencies. The studio's dental experts refined her slightly misaligned teeth, creating a more harmonious smile, a crucial element contributing to her signature elegant demeanor. Though these were minor interventions, they demonstrate that even the most seemingly natural beauty was meticulously cared for to meet Hollywood's demanding standards. These adjustments took place in the early 1950s, just before her breakthrough role in Roman Holiday. When signing with Paramount Pictures, the studio recognized not only her talent, but also her commitment to perfecting her image. Initially, Hepburn was hesitant, worried that changes would diminish her natural beauty. However, she was convinced that these adjustments would only enhance her inherent charm. Notably, unlike many stars of her time, she rarely made major alterations, primarily retaining her distinctive features. Hepburn's story demonstrates that even the most seemingly natural icons require preparation. In her case, the subtle adjustments weren't intended to completely transform her, but rather to refine and contribute to the elegant image that has become a timeless Hollywood icon. James Dean, the dark and rebellious icon of 1950s cinema, who portrayed a carefree and captivating image on screen. But behind that cool exterior lies a little-known story. Before becoming the face of an entire generation, Dean was insecure about his smile. Before making his mark with Rebel Without a Cause, he underwent significant orthodontic treatment to perfect his appearance. Dean's natural teeth were uneven and somewhat discolored, which didn't suit the image of a rising star. Dental experts at the film studio used veneers to improve his smile, making him look more confident and stand out on screen. This change wasn't just aesthetic. It also affected how he perceived himself and appeared in public. The procedure took place in 1954, after Dean signed a contract with Warner Brothers. The adjustments lasted for weeks, and he showed considerable impatience. A dental technician later recounted that Dean often worried whether his new smile would make him look too polished or lose his inherent masculinity. Ironically, the rebellious image that audiences remember him for was accompanied by a meticulously groomed smile. This change wasn't simply about improving his appearance, it also reflected the contradictions within Dean's personality. Despite being seen as an icon of freedom and individuality, he remained a product of a cinematic system where every detail, from his appearance to his image, was carefully crafted. Gloria Swanson, a legend of the silent film era, is considered a pioneer in the use of facial cosmetic surgery in Hollywood. Before these procedures became widespread, she had already chosen a path that many other stars would later follow. In the late 1920s and early 1930s, as sound films gradually replaced silent films and a wave of young actors emerged, Swanson decided to undergo procedures such as facelifts and eye surgery to maintain her status. These procedures were quite rudimentary at the time and were always kept secret. She often traveled abroad, especially to Europe, to recover without attracting attention. The first facelift was performed in Paris in 1928 by a French doctor who had developed surgical techniques for veterans disfigured after World War I. The method at the time primarily involved skin tightening, lacking the in-depth understanding of facial structure that we have today, resulting in a lengthy and uncomfortable recovery process lasting nearly 2 months. The public at the time only knew this trip as a long vacation. What is noteworthy is Swanson's determination to protect her image in a film industry that valued youth and often limited older actresses. She refused to be relegated to supporting roles and was willing to try risky methods to maintain her career. Swanson's story illustrates the level of consideration early Hollywood stars had to adapt and survive in a highly competitive environment. Joan Crawford, one of Hollywood's greatest stars, was renowned for her striking beauty and unmistakable elegance. However, behind that iconic appearance lay a series of cosmetic procedures, particularly expensive and painful dental surgeries, which contributed to shaping her distinctive facial structure. One of the most notable changes was the adjustment of the bone structure behind her cheekbones, which accentuated her already high and sharp facial features. This bold decision came when she transitioned from dancer to actress, marking a major turning point in her career. The result was an angular face, sunken cheekbones, and a well-defined jawline, combined with bold makeup, creating a striking image on screen. In addition, Crawford underwent extensive orthodontic treatment starting in 1928, when MGM redefined her image to be more mature and dramatic. According to studio records, the planned extraction of wisdom teeth over 2 years was intended to improve her facial structure. In the absence of modern pain relief methods, the process was uncomfortable, but she persevered. Crawford's longtime makeup artist once shared that she viewed these challenges as a necessary investment. For her, maintaining her appearance was part of building a career in the fiercely competitive environment of Hollywood. Thanks to her determination and willingness to change, Joan Crawford created an unforgettable image in film history, demonstrating that behind the glamour sometimes lies persistent effort to improve oneself. Clark Gable, the king of Hollywood with his captivating masculinity, once faced a serious dental problem that could have affected his career. In the mid-1930s, severe periodontal disease caused him to lose many teeth and suffer from significant tooth decay. To maintain his perfect on-screen image, Gable opted for full dentures, a crucial step in creating his signature smile in classic films like Gone with the Wind. Upon signing with MGM, The studio quickly recognized this issue and addressed it as part of their star image-building strategy. Dentists decided to extract the damaged teeth and replace them with a complete set of dentures. The entire process took several months and was kept strictly confidential. The restoration began in 1932, after Gable gained attention with red dust. Film studio records show that his dental condition may have been related to his smoking habits and poor dental care. Instead of preserving his natural teeth, experts opted for a comprehensive solution to ensure aesthetic appeal and suitability for his on-screen image. During this time, Gable had to use temporary dentures while filming, while his permanent dentures were meticulously crafted to look natural under the camera lights. Specifically, the dentures were designed to be slightly larger to enhance his masculinity, creating a radiant and easily recognizable smile. Although the prosthetics provided a noticeable visual effect, they also caused him considerable difficulties, from discomfort to affecting his voice. This forced Gable to adjust his acting to maintain a natural demeanor. However, he understood that maintaining a perfect image was crucial to his success. Gable's story shows that Hollywood not only focuses on appearance, but sometimes completely recreates the look of stars in order to create unforgettable icons on the silver screen. Judy Garland, the legendary star of The Wizard of Oz, underwent rigorous cosmetic procedures from a very young age. Throughout her career, MGM controlled almost every detail of her appearance, including uncomfortable dental procedures. One of the earliest interventions occurred when Garland was just 14 years old, when the studio requested a smile correction to better suit the cameras. She had to wear removable dental crowns to alter the shape of her teeth. These devices were not only painful and inconvenient, but also created significant physical and mental stress, as she had to use them constantly during filming. According to MGM records from 1936, the dental corrections were part of a comprehensive image control strategy. Many experts later argued that Garland's teeth were only slightly misaligned, but the studio still opted for quick interventions instead of gentler solutions more appropriate for her age. This sometimes affected her ability to speak and sing. Notably, these changes occurred when Garland Dean was a minor and had no real choice. It was simply part of a more stringent control system, including forced diets and close monitoring of her appearance. These prolonged pressures not only affected her physical health but also left a deep psychological mark throughout her life. Burt Lancaster, with his dynamic image and radiant smile, underwent significant dental work early in his career, contributing to his captivating on-screen appearance. Before fame, his teeth were uneven and showed signs of damage, not fitting the strong image that film studios desired. In 1946, before his debut role in The Killers, Lancaster underwent several procedures by studio dentists. Records show he had significant dental problems, possibly due to his time in the circus and military service. Instead of replacing all his teeth, the specialists opted to preserve healthy teeth, combining bridges, partial dentures, and porcelain veneers to correct imperfections. The result was a set of even, bright teeth that perfectly suited his black and white film persona. This change made a noticeable difference, not only in his appearance but also in his confidence in acting. Lancaster's new smile helped him project a more captivating demeanor, contributing to his unique charm and paving the way for his later success. His story illustrates Hollywood's attention to detail in appearance, viewing it as crucial for creating a complete and impressive star image. Elizabeth Taylor, one of Hollywood's greatest beauty icons, possessed a legendary appearance perfected by meticulous care, particularly in her dental work. While her violet eyes and thick eyelashes were striking features, her radiant smile played an equally important role. Before becoming a major star, Taylor underwent orthodontic treatment to correct minor misalignments in her teeth. Studio dentists made subtle adjustments, gradually improving her appearance while maintaining a natural look. This process began when she was around 12 years old, after signing with MGM in 1944. Unlike the uncomfortable procedures some other actresses underwent, Taylor's procedures were gentle and planned for the long term. Combining early orthodontic treatment with cosmetic techniques resulted in straight and harmonious teeth, with particular attention paid to her front teeth, which were uneven as a child. The remarkable aspect is the gradual approach, avoiding abrupt changes while maintaining the naturalness of her smile. This helped Taylor maintain her unique beauty as she matured from a child star to a leading actress. MGM only refined the necessary details without losing her inherent characteristics. Elizabeth Taylor's story shows that Hollywood not only creates images, but also knows how to celebrate natural beauty, subtly adjusting to meet high aesthetic standards, making her a lasting icon of cinema. John Wayne, the icon of American masculinity, concealed a truth that contradicted his familiar tough image. Despite his fame as an unyielding cowboy, he underwent facelifts and eyelid surgery in the 1950s and 1960s to maintain his rugged appearance as age began to take its toll. All procedures were performed discreetly, helping him maintain his strong physique, a key element for an action star. With a career heavily reliant on physical strength, aging presented a significant challenge to Wayne's image. To cope, he chose cosmetic surgery as a strategic solution while keeping it completely secret. His disappearances from public view, ostensibly for hunting or fishing, were actually periods of recovery after the procedures. His first facelift took place in 1953 when he was nearly 40 years old, a crucial stage for an action actor. The surgeries focused on the jaw and neck area, where signs of aging are easily visible, resulting in a more toned appearance while maintaining his natural masculinity. By the early 1960s, he underwent eyelid surgery to reduce the tired look on his face. These adjustments not only helped him look fresher, but also reduced the need to cover his face with clothing, which made his on-screen image less dynamic. It's noteworthy that these surgeries were kept completely secret. While female stars often openly maintain their appearance, with Wayne, any sign of intervention could jeopardize the masculine image he had cultivated. This clearly reflects Hollywood's double standards regarding beauty and age between men and women. John Wayne's story shows that Hollywood not only builds images, but also subtly adjusts them to protect the star's aura, revealing the differing expectations the industry places on each gender. Gary Cooper, the famous star known for his tall and composed appearance, underwent a little-known cosmetic surgery early in his career. Before becoming a Hollywood icon, his slightly protruding ears were considered a detail that could detract from his appeal in close-up shots. To remedy this, he underwent a simple but significantly impactful plastic surgery. In the late 1920s, as Cooper began transitioning from supporting roles to leading roles, Paramount Pictures noticed that his protruding ears, especially in angled shots, made his overall facial features less harmonious. Therefore, they proposed a minor surgery to improve his on-screen image. The surgery, performed around 1928, became a crucial step in Cooper's rise to stardom. This procedure primarily involved adjusting his ears to be closer to his head, creating a more balanced angle, a factor that later contributed to his distinctive look in films like High Noon. The surgery was performed by an experienced doctor who had handled many facial trauma cases for veterans, and the technique was effectively applied for cosmetic purposes. The recovery process was quite quick, only a few weeks, allowing Cooper to return to work soon. During this time, filming schedules were also adjusted to avoid affecting the surgical area. Cooper's story illustrates a clear reality in Hollywood at that time. Even the smallest details about appearance could have a significant impact on a career. From Gary Cooper's case, it can be seen that the film industry always pays attention to every detail, where no flaw is too small to be overlooked. And sometimes it is the seemingly insignificant things that determine the success or failure of a star. Rita Hayworth, whose real name was Margarita Carmen Canino, underwent a grueling transformation, one of the most dramatic makeovers in Hollywood history, to become the iconic red-haired glamour icon that the public remembers. The most notable aspect of this process was a series of lengthy electrolysis treatments aimed at completely reshaping her hairline, raising it by approximately 2.5 centimeters. This procedure created a distinctly American look, transforming her from a Hispanic actress into a model conforming to Hollywood beauty standards of the 1940s. The process, carried out with virtually no effective pain relief, focused on removing individual hair follicles from her forehead and temples, with the goal of minimizing her ancestry and expanding her acting opportunities. The transformation began in 1935, when Harry Cohn at Columbia Pictures decided to turn this struggling dancer into a star. Her initial appearance, dark hair, a low hairline, and olive skin, was considered a major obstacle to leading roles, leading to a complete transformation, beginning with a hairline alteration. The electrolysis process lasted nearly 18 months, treating only a small portion at a time. The sensation she endured was described as layers of skin being burned repeatedly with each treatment. Without significant pain relief, Hayworth had to accept this as the price to pay for her Hollywood opportunities. Simultaneously, her natural dark hair was dyed a distinctive auburn red, and she changed her name from Margarita Canino to Rita Hayworth. This change was not just about appearance, but also a complete image reconstruction, helping her better fit the aesthetic expectations of the film industry at the time. What Rita Hayworth went through illustrates the harshness of the star-making system then. Had she not accepted this challenging journey, she might have remained a dancer with little chance of rising to become a top star. This is clear evidence of the stringent standards and invisible pressure that Hollywood once placed on stars in their quest for fame. We come to the final point, one of the most iconic transformations of Hollywood's golden age. Before becoming a global beauty legend, Marilyn Monroe, then known as Norma Jean Baker, was just a pretty girl, but lacked the striking features that would later make her famous. Her transformation involved numerous cosmetic procedures, most notably a chin implant to create a softer, heart-shaped face, along with rhinoplasty to refine and harmonize the tip of her nose. These changes began around 1950, when Monroe left modeling to pursue acting professionally. Her manager, Johnny Hyde, believed in her potential and was willing to pay for the procedures, seeing them as a necessary investment in building a star. The surgeries were performed discreetly by reputable doctors, with the recovery process kept strictly confidential. In this process, chin reshaping played a crucial role, transforming her previously somewhat square face into a more refined and alluring one, perfectly complementing her captivating eyes and signature smile. Along with platinum blonde hair, sophisticated makeup, and a unique aura, these changes created a completely new image. Marilyn Monroe, a pop culture icon, a beauty standard that existed almost exclusively on screen and in the imagination. The once simple Norma Jean became a legend, her influence lasting for decades after her death. What is special about Monroe is that her image was not only perfected, but also helped reshape the concept of beauty. These refined features helped her shine and become a role model for countless people. Marilyn Monroe's story shows that Hollywood's power lies not only in celebrating beauty, but also in its ability to create and redefine it in a very practical way. The physical pain these stars endure for the sake of beauty is merely the tip of the iceberg. The deeper price lies in internal conflict, the disconnect between their true selves and the image Hollywood wants them to project. Imagine looking in the mirror and seeing a designed version instead of yourself. For many stars, this disconnect has led to a prolonged struggle with identity and personal values. Perhaps Marilyn Monroe expressed this most clearly when she said, "I'm trying to find myself again. Sometimes it's not easy." That statement becomes even more profound when we understand that she herself was shaped by others. These stars don't just act on screen, they live as completely different people in real life. Their faces and bodies are adjusted to fit the industry's stringent standards. Consider the emotional trauma they suffer. Judy Garland was forced to use painful dental devices from a young age and carried that self-doubt throughout her life. Rita Hayworth endured harsh treatments to alter her appearance and diminish her original identity. Clark Gable even had to hide his dentures to protect his masculine image. The gap between on-screen perfection and real life left wounds that fame can hardly heal. Marilyn Monroe's delicate chin, Rita Hayworth's hairline, and Clark Gable's smile gradually became standards for subsequent generations. Perhaps these changes were not just an imposition by Hollywood, but also opened a dialogue about whether appearance can be a choice, not entirely determined by fate. These silent decisions sparked a conversation that continues to this day about beauty and identity. And that also marks the end of our journey exploring the little-known hidden aspects of Hollywood's golden age. From Audrey Hepburn's subtle adjustments to Marilyn Monroe's complete transformation, it's clear that studios meticulously crafted perfect images that continue to captivate audiences today. If you find these behind-the-scenes stories interesting, don't forget to hit like. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now's the perfect time to. Each week, we bring you new perspectives on classic Hollywood. Share your thoughts. Which story surprised you the most? Did these revelations change the way you view classic films? See you in the next video, where we'll continue exploring more fascinating secrets of old Hollywood.